Ghana has recorded some heavy rains in this month of September, but the Ghana Meteorological Agency has also warned that we brace up for more of such rains. But really, how will that impact our everyday lives? Today on the Citi Newsroom, we bring you all the way to the Kasoa stretch to look at some pressing issues, and some concerns of residents and road users here anytime there are such rains. If you find yourself on the Kasoa stretch on Monday, the experience is very, very worrying. Major, huge traffic jams on the stretch. And that is because one part of the road has been collapsed due to the heavy sand that has washed onto the stretch. Now you realize that there are some young men here who are trying to bring some sanity. They are trying to collect the sand from the road and also direct traffic to ease the pressure a little bit for drivers and commuters as well. Whereas drivers and commuters are worried and crying for the long hours in traffic, it appears to be a good market day for hawkers and traders around the Kasoa stretch. This has always been the situation when there are heavy rains, but you ask yourself, where do all these sand come from? Now, when you look up onto the hills, you can tell that the sand really washes down onto the stretch from up the hill. Now, this is supposed to be a drain, but you can tell how full it is of sand. And all this sand is supposed to find its way onto the road. And this is where we are recording the huge volumes of sand on the stretch from. You can look up the hill and get a better understanding of where the sand actually comes from and finds its way straight onto the street. Now you can tell that the erosion has created some a natural drain here, and this is where the sand comes from. Wow, that is deep. Wow. And you can tell that this is as a result of the rains. And so it looks like this is the drain that connects to the constructed one, very close to the street. So it comes all the way from the top and then finds its way onto the street. So much is supposed to be done. Proper engineering work should be done here because there's a huge mountain of red sand there and it's coming all the way down. And if nothing is done about this, it looks like this is what is going to happen anytime there are heavy rains. You're still watching the Citi Newsroom, and we're currently here at the Kasoa stretch. Now, this area is popularly known as Atala area, and anytime there are heavy rains, this is what you see. And so the stretch you see in your shot is supposed to be an asphalted road, but you can tell how sand has taken over the entire stretch. Now, the operation behind us is being conducted by the national security, and it is to clear the sand off the road. Now, due to the heavy sand that has occupied the stretch, it has become practically unmotorable. And so what you see is motorists, using one stretch of the road. So on my left side is supposed to be traffic to the Kasoa area, but because of the unmotorable nature of the opposite side of the road, the inner road has to be converted and for the oncoming vehicles to Accra to have a smooth sail through. And you can imagine the kind of traffic that is built on this road due to this diversion. And this is the situation currently here at the Atala area here in Weja. And so you find in your shots national security trying to clear the road. Look at the volumes of sand being collected. You can see trucks there that are supposed to be collecting these sands to be disposed of elsewhere. But this is the operation happening here. When you look right behind you, you can tell how far they've come in clearing the road because it was way back there. And this is the current situation right here. You see vehicles, those going to the toll booth area, that's the Kasoa toll booth area, and those coming to Accra using just one side of the road. You can tell the inconvenience that the rains have caused. Now, we are just about 200 meters away from the toll booth, and I have some road users here with me. There's this gentleman. Welcome to Citi Newsroom.
Thank you.
Do you live around here?
Yes, please.
Okay, where do you live?
I live around Galilee when you pass, yes, just after the toll booth. I've been using this road each and every day.
Right. So share your experience with us. How does it look like anytime it rains heavily?
Well, anytime it rains, we need to spend about 3 hours just from the toll booth to Broadcasting Junction. It's just because of the nature of the road situation over here. And it is something that is affecting our life. It's affecting our productivity because if you have to get to work and work for 3 hours, you use that 3 hours to be in the traffic. So by the time you get to work, all your clients are even gone. Is it that we are not part of this country, or is because for us they see us to be a normal people and they don't seem concerned to our problems? I'm pleading. The kind of tension that is going on in this country, we don't want to handle this one to be part of this kind of tension. Other than that, it is going to be something else. We are pleading that if they don't respond to this, we are going to organize a serious demonstration against the kind of situations over here. And that kind of demonstration, it has never happened in this country before. The demonstration will affect each and everyone in this country. We will block the 2 roads and no car will go from here to Cape Coast, from here to Takrady, from here to Elibu.
Right, so usually when we encounter situations like this, you realize that in the absence of the police, there are these young men who offer to help, the situation. And we have some of these young men here. How are you?
I'm fine.
So what are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm area boy now. Anytime when it's rain, I'm here. Here, the whole road, this bridge, I'm a popular here, yes. I called Samuel. Any driver know me. Any seller know me. I'm area guy. Yeah, I call Samuel.
So is this a job for the area boys?
No, this one cannot be a job. It's like something you are just helping. If you are not here, you cannot, the cars are not can go now. You understand? Since 3 days today, yes, here us has choke. Okay. But we the guys doing 1, 2, 1, 2, you are not forcing any to pay. You are just helping. So if you touch your heart, you can give something. Charlie, we are there, mommy.
So this one by around 5 p.m. or by the close of the day, how much would you have?
Oh, because of me, I'm a star. I don't know anybody. Me, I can get maybe 300 CDs around 4 o'clock before I leave here.
But the business is good.
Yeah, it's not good at all. This one is not a business. This one a helping. You understand, mommy? Mm-hmm.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. We are currently here at the Wager Kasoa stretch. And my colleague, who is also the Central Regional Correspondent, Calvis Tete, has been speaking to some drivers on their experiences.
I am on the Accra-bound section of the Kasoa toll booth. This stretch is experiencing huge gridlock as a result of the heap of sand that has been washed onto the stretch. As a result of the rains, some of the drivers spoke to Citi News and expressed their frustrations.
When there is a rainfall, there is a water that comes from the hills. So that is a bigger problem. We need a bridge, overhead bridge, like what they have done at the circle, so that when water is coming from the hills, it can run quickly to the river over there. I think a few minutes that the rains pour, when we look at the chunk of traffic that we went through, we are suffering here.
It's very, very frustrating because if you are going to work or you have a lot of job doing in the town and let's say you have to be in this traffic before you get to town, you see the way embarrassment it will be. Yeah, at times you'll be about 2 hours, 3 hours. If it is raining, you can't even move. If it's raining, the car can't even move unless you pass this lane, the other lane, before you'll be able to go. The government will try and do some huge bridge here. If they do bridge, because it's from the hill, the water is coming from the hill. So if they do a huge bridge here, that the water can pass through the river, the Wager Dam, that will be better.
Human activities such as the cutting down of trees is one of the activities that leads to the sand on the Broadcasting Hill washing onto the street. Then again, there is the activity of persons building on the hill. These activities also lead to the sand washing onto the broadcasting stretch of the highway. The activity of persons are also engaging in sand winning activities. They go up the hill, win sand for their own construction activities. This also makes it easier when it rains for the rain to wash the sand on the hill onto the street. We all know that trees are meant to hold the sand in order for them not to wash down when it rains. But because they are cutting down the trees, it makes it easier for the rain to wash the sand on the surface of the hill onto the stretch, causing huge gridlock. For drivers who use the Kasoa toll booth stretch, They are hoping that the stretch will be fixed to ensure easy access. Calvis Tete, Citi News, Kasoa Toll Booth.